Hi guys, welcome back to the Football Showdown channel. Today we are going to talk about the Euro 2024, in specific about England. Before I say anything else, I have a small message for all you guys. If you guys are not yet subscribed, please keep subscribing to the channel as we're trying to hit that 500 mark as soon as possible. Also, keep commenting, keep liking, and keep sharing this content as we're trying to build a community, as we're trying to make sure that we put out quality content as well for all you guys out there. Today, in topic, we have England performing in the Euro 2024 group stages. They've been absolutely poor, in my opinion, but to talk more about it, I have my friend today, Vardhan. Hey Vardhan, how are you?
I'm good. I think everything is good apart from the fact that I have the pleasure of watching England
Uh-huh.
games. It brings me so much happiness to be able to watch such beautiful, impressive tiki-taka football. It's the best thing I've ever seen, and I really think Gareth Southgate should be managing a top European club. But it's just sad that he's just managing England. Should be managing Bayern or something. Don't know why Vincent Kompany got that job. So yeah, well, obvious sarcasm in there. So yeah, I'm doing good, but as a Euros watcher, as a football lover, and as an England fan, I'm doing atrocious. Because what was that? So I don't really know where to start. You give me something and I'll start off with it.
Okay.
Um,
What do you think about the backline? Let's start with the defense. What is happening there?
I guess I guess in terms of defense entirely, I mean they lost one game.
No, England
Um,
didn't lose any game. England drew two games. They
oh right,
considered only once against Denmark.
right. Oh yeah, right. Well, this. Are you sure? They had four
No,
games and the end of the group
yeah, they
stage.
played
4 points.
Denmark.
Or did they have
They
five
have five.
points? Let me have
They
a
have
look here
five. They
really quick.
won against. Wait, so they drew against Slovenia. They didn't score there. They drew.
Yeah, it was a win, draw,
Yeah,
draw, isn't
exactly.
it?
They drew against Denmark, and they
Yeah,
won against. Who did they win against?
it was their first. Serbia was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it, the
the
first
Serbia.
game,
Huh?
two
Yeah,
one.
they won against Serbia. Exactly. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess it doesn't change much what the results are. It's just how they play really. And I guess even if they won 3 games, and that's the kind of football I was having to watch, I don't think it's gonna bode well for the future anyways. Because I remember when the last time we spoke, we were so hyped up for the Euros, and since then my hype has gone into the drain. There is there is no hype. England plays tomorrow because this is when we're recording the video, and I'm not looking forward to it. And it's against Slovakia, and no disrespect to Slovakia, the only two players I know are Martin Dubravka or Milan Skriniar. And I don't even watch Skriniar. I mean, is he in Inter Milan? Is he? I mean, I don't even watch him that much, but uh, I guess those are the two good players. I know he's a very good defender, but that's really all I know about Slovakia. I mean, sorry to say, I don't watch football to that level. I would say that I start watching Slovakia, but you get my
Right.
point. We've played so many games against, apart from Denmark, who just had an unlucky win to Germany today. No one really was that competitive. And I guess if you're just gonna talk about defense, I don't think we've been that bad defensively, but we've not been bad defensively is not it doesn't say much because we're in a group we haven't actually faced a decent side, and Denmark is the only decent side, but Denmark relies too much on their
Right.
defense and counterattacks to win. They don't build up the ball really well, so I don't think that's the best comparison, anything to say about how England's defense is. I think they're playing Slovakia now, and I don't think that is gonna be the best judgment of our defense either, no matter what the
Yeah,
result is.
England is
Maybe
on
in
the
the
better
next week.
side of the the round of 16 structures, isn't it? Like they're not
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. We're on the better side of draw till the final, I think. Um, but obviously we are gonna face some hard team along the way. But the way we're playing at the moment just doesn't. I mean, I can start with the technicalities of the defense, really. Um, we can start with Jordan Pickford. absolutely no issues with Jordan
Hmm.
Pickford. He's been there for England for a long time. He's conceded that one goal against
Denmark.
Denmark that I can recall
Hmm.
properly, and that was a great goal, brilliant finish. Nothing he can do about it. Nothing defense can
Hmm.
about it. No one stopping
Hmm.
that. And such goals happen, so I can't blame Pickford for that. Playing out the back, he hasn't made too many mistakes
Hmm.
really. He's okay at picking the balls. He's playing risk free. He's saving things when he needs to. He comes up clutch big
Hmm.
time. No issues with
Hmm.
Pickford. Right back, Kyle Walker. I think he's been linking up with Saka very well. I think that's the side of our attack that actually has something
Hmm.
going. Uh, Left back, Trippier, garbage. Uh, and that is literally not a dig at
Hmm.
Trippier. That's a dig at Gareth
Hmm.
Southgate. Like, mate, play people in their own
Hmm.
position. And if you really want to play someone at left back, play Kyle Walker instead. I mean, he's not a left back either, don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, but he's much more solid than Trippier at
Hmm.
defense. And Trippier gets getting caught out on defense again and again and
Hmm.
again, and he gets getting bullied by the right
Right.
wingers. And right now, we've not even faced that good right wingers. The moment he starts facing good attacks and physical attacks, he's gonna
Hmm.
falter, and that's not his problem. He's a right winger. He's a
Hmm.
right back whose specialty is dead balls and whipping crosses in. Can't do that if you're on your weak
Hmm.
foot all
Hmm.
the time as a left back because he's right footed.
Hmm.
So I don't think he's being played in his best
Right.
position. He should be playing right back, or if you really want more creativity, which we clearly
Hmm.
lack, go as far as putting Trent at right back. And that's a big statement because Gareth Southgate is always very defensively. His affinity lies to his defense,
Hmm.
and I don't know if he'd be okay with doing that and compromising on Kyle Walker's solidity in
Hmm.
defense. But even if he does do that, it's gonna be a bit more on the creative side. And I guess the defense has been good at doing a defense's
Hmm.
job, but part of that job profile is also to create for the midfield to progress the ball up
Hmm.
forward. That particular aspect of our defense is dog
Hmm.
shit. We do not know how to progress the ball into
Hmm.
midfield. Declan Rice keeps falling back again and
Hmm.
again. And for some reason, he makes those runs and passes he does for Arsenal that he feels very scared to do for
Hmm.
England. I don't know what the reason for that
Hmm.
is, but the only one big reason that comes into my mind is the lack of a
Hmm.
pivot, a good pivot
Hmm.
partner that you have at Arsenal, but he doesn't
Hmm.
have here. I think it was Jorginho who did it for most of the season, and then it was Partey,
Hmm.
wasn't
Hmm.
it? Two very reliable people, especially Jorginho, who plays that role and has played that role pretty much all his life. It was Xhaka last
Right.
season, uh, and he was perfect
Hmm.
at it. Um, and he's been sensational in that role for Leverkusen
Hmm.
this year,
Hmm.
Xhaka. So we don't have anyone like that. Wait, I'm wrong. We do have someone like that. His name is Kobe
Yeah.
Mainoo. He's from the other side of my team, and I despise that team, but he's a brilliant
Right.
player. Why aren't we using Kobe
Hmm.
Mainoo? Like, why isn't he the starting if you really want to do a
Hmm.
pivot,
Hmm.
right? If you were to take my opinion, I wouldn't even play Mainoo. Play Bellingham in the eight. Bellingham is so
Exactly.
obsessed with fighting players, coming back and tackling
Hmm.
people, trying to help the midfield and coming all the way back and doing all these showboaty passes. Why don't you just play eight then?
Exactly.
Why do you want to do all this nonsense as a
Hmm.
10?
Hmm.
That's not a ten's job. If he does both, that's very
Hmm.
good. But he clearly doesn't create as a
Hmm.
10. He's more of a physical
Hmm.
10, but we need more of
Creative
a
time. Okay.
Iniesta-ish, more of a in the small
Hmm.
spaces dribbly
Hmm.
10, which is literally Phil
Hmm.
Foden. Um, but we're pushing Phil Foden onto the well. This was me. I think I went into talking about midfield, so let's just call it the
Hmm.
midfield conundrum for
Hmm.
England. I don't really know who he wants to start. I mean, he started
Uh.
Gallagher, didn't he, in the
Yep.
last
Yep.
game? And I like Gallagher. I feel like even when Gallagher's played against City, he's given us problems because he's constantly running around trying to pester people on the
Hmm.
ball and get the ball off
Hmm.
them. And that's perfectly
Hmm.
fine if the rest of our team is good at progressing the ball
Hmm.
forward. But he isn't good at progressing it. Our team doesn't know how to progress the ball
Hmm.
forward, and nothing helps, so he doesn't work either. So the only natural
Hmm.
solution to that is Mainu or
Hmm.
Bellingham. Bellingham. is the risk.
Hmm.
Because I don't think he's done that for a
Hmm.
while.
Hmm.
But some people have this argument that Bellingham's been playing 10 for Real
He's
Madrid
not
and
that.
often like a false.
Yeah.
Well, he's playing often that false nine-ish
Exactly.
position that he's been
Hmm.
playing. I get that. I do. Trust me, I get
Hmm.
that. But England doesn't have Vinicius and Rodrigo making runs behind.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
Bellingham can't just put his back on goal and flick a pass on the side and just have Vinicius running
Hmm.
around and Rodrigo running around. And they're both
Hmm.
clinical. They're both clinical
Hmm.
wingers. We don't have any of
Hmm.
that. None of our wingers are
Hmm.
clinical. I know Saka is good in that, but they're not clinical,
Hmm.
clinical. No one's scared of facing Saka, Ford, and Gordon like they would be scared facing
Vinicius.
Vinicius on the
Hmm.
wing. Maybe not Walker, but everyone else would be
Hmm.
scared. Do you get my
Yeah. Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they do have a
so
bunch of run. I
I
mean, they do have a runner in Gordon, but he's not gotten any minute.
runner,
Exactly.
runner. That's
Something.
fine.
Exactly. I mean, like, they could
Something.
something. I mean, they left a runner back home in Rashford, but
Oh yeah. And Sterling.
and Sterling, and you want to play how you want to play without the players that are needed for the system. There's no way you're going to you're going to be successful in it. I still, it's like, yeah, it's genuinely surprising how England even made it till here. I don't know because
I mean, England's. I feel like Rooney pointed this out very well in one of his interviews. I don't. It was a Sky Sports thing. It was with
yeah,
Gary Neville and people, and he
Skybets, yeah.
said when he looks at
Hold
England,
up.
when he looks at England, he feels like he's watching Man City without the timing and the quality, and then he goes on to say, so basically not Man City, but he gets the idea. So we're trying to play like City, but we can't do it because we don't have the quality. And I guess in my eyes, it's more so that we do have the quality, but I feel like a lot of these players are so full of themselves that they want to show their individual brilliance that we won't be able to work as a team.
Like,
And I haven't seen one, like, I don't know if you've seen clips of Foden with his hands in the air. Um, so basically, he passes the ball to someone and he goes into another space and then he puts his hands up in the air because the person he's passed the ball to has turned around and he's passed the ball back into the defense or he's passed the ball sideways. So if you look at how City plays and how the so it basically Foden passes the ball and runs into these small spaces. Someone gives the ball and then Foden dribbles through the small space. Foden can't do that here. He's playing on the wing, and even when he's trying to do something, he's not getting the ball.
exactly, right.
These players just refuse to pass the ball to
Mm-hmm.
Foden, and I think his best game was the last one, and
And he goes,
it's because he was getting the ball a lot more, and he's gonna make things happen. And I'm not being biased. I'm really not. I know he's a City player. I love him, but I'm not being biased. I've seen Foden play for a long time, and I know exactly what he can bring to a team. So he should be playing in the middle anyways. So that's where the midfield conundrum is. Who actually plays apart from Declan Rice, who's a fixed position? Who actually plays? In my opinion, the best possible solution to keep your best possible players is Bellingham and Bellingham in eight beside
Rice
Declan
and
Rice with the ability to go box to box and Declan in the
Foden,
Foden in the
right.
middle, Ford in the 10, in the strong small spaces. Bellingham can be physical, make his half turns to progress the ball forward, and leave the rest to Foden. He can distribute to either wing, and that's what he does for Doku. He does that for Bernardo when he plays on the right, and this time he has Saka. So I really don't I know there's this whole conundrum with the midfield, but it seems very simple. And I'm not a manager, and I'm never gonna claim to be a manager. Uh, but surely Southgate is missing a trick here that the whole country seems to know but himself. Uh, and he's done this throughout career. He refuses to play without his pivot players. And I guess in an interview he recently came out and said we don't have a natural replacement for
Calvin Phillips, like,
Calvin Phillips. Like, mate, you don't have a natural replacement for Calvin Phillips, who does not even, he did not, I don't even remember when he started a game for Man
exactly.
City. He doesn't even start games for West Ham after being loaned out there. So that's a player of prime importance for you. That player, Calvin Phillips. Right. What did he? I know he pinged some long balls and he played well for England, but you have Kobe Mano. I know he's young, but give him a chance. So if you're gonna play two natural pivots, and if you wanna use, it's a hard one. So if you're gonna play
Uh,
Mano, and if you're gonna play Bellingham in the 10, drop Foden.
yeah.
I I say drop Foden. And I'm just being pragmatic as an England fan here. There's no need to be slagging a player off, first of all, for not being good in his position, in a position that is not his zone, and then coming out in media saying that we need pace down the wings. So drop Foden. Foden's not a winger, and he's more effective as a right winger because it's easier to come inside the middle when you're on your strong foot. So he's left footed. It's easier to come inside from the right wing into the middle, but coming into the center on the right foot, which is harder. It's just harder. Uh, so we can't remove Saka.
I would say either
Um,
put Palmer or Gordon on the left. Naturally, I would put Gordon because he's like right-footed and he's played in that position for Newcastle. But who else is there to play on that wing? Like you can play Watkins, to be honest. I think Watkins
I,
is a better
I
option.
am I wouldn't put Watkins. I wouldn't put Watkins, but I'll get to Watkins. I have something in my head for him, but this makes you wonder if he chooses to play Foden on the left
And
wing.
Saka on.
Why the
Okay,
hell? Why the hell has he dropped Jack Grealish? Why couldn't you just play Jack Grealish? There, he knows how to run the tempo, and England's biggest problem in the group stage has been they literally lose the ball right after they get it. Tell me one time that Jack Grealish has lost the ball. I can't even recall. He may not be the most effective, but he really knows how to
keep the
control
ball
the
right.
tempo. He drags one player with him and he finds the right pass. That is what you need in an international game, control. And maybe I'm being a pep freak here, but we do need control. That's literally what this team lacks. Uh, and it's not like we have Rodri in the midfield. You're not gonna get that control. Uh,
Like it's
so,
funny how
it,
like this.
why have you dropped? Sorry, but why have you dropped Jadon Sancho then? If you didn't want someone um, who can control the
Madison,
tempo, Jadon Sancho can kind of do both. He can
Like
attack, he can
exactly
finish.
like I'm surprised how Madison didn't have a place in this team. Like, are you telling me that Madison doesn't have a spot in this team? Are you telling me that Ivan Toney is more effective in this team than Madison in this team? Like, how did Ivan Toney make it to this squad, but not Madison or Sancho or even Rashford because you want to play that runners? But yeah,
Yeah, I genuinely don't get. I mean, I was kind of happy sometimes that he was experimenting something new, but there's no point of experimenting with new players if you're just gonna stuff them in to make your perfect formation in players that they don't. So Trippier and Foden both playing out of position, the entire left side of our field is dead. There is no creativity on our left side. Everything is Foden trying to come into the middle on his weak foot, which doesn't even make sense. And then the biggest conundrum coming to Mr.
Harry,
Harry Kane.
yeah. I felt Watkins was more effective in games when he came on for Harry Kane. I'm like, bro, like I get it, but
Well,
yeah.
here's my question to you. I don't know if you say yes or no. Is a defender's worst nightmare someone who can hold up the ball, creates for his wingers, or is it worse that they're having to face their own back, they're having to face their own goal basically? To be able to face their own goal, they constantly have to worry about someone on their shoulder making runs in behind them. But if Kane refuses to make runs behind, we literally, and they know that, the defenders know that he's not gonna do it. So if he's gonna be so one dimensional, defense is gonna be easy for the other team, and that's where we've struggled. And the moment Watkins comes on, they're struggling to cope with him because he's that quick. And if he's had a season like that, I know he's the captain. I know he's Captain Majestic, the same majestic guy who missed a penalty for us in the World Cup. Uh, I don't get it. And if you want to play him, if you really want to play Harry Kane, drop Foden, drop him.
Oh,
Because even there was something that happened in the last game. it was a very beautiful pass that Foden made after cutting through people. He Trivela passed it on to Harry Kane, and Harry Kane was on the back foot trying to come into midfield to receive a pass, but he could have easily kept on running, and Foden paid a beautiful through pass to him. Even he would have been through on goal. If a striker's mentality is not even to get on goal, Foden's not going to play along with it because Haaland doesn't drop in that much. He's not used to it. Haaland always tries to make runs beyond. It's City's fault that we don't have players who know how to ping a long ball over the top. If we had that one player who could ping long balls over the top all the time beside Rodri, Haaland would be 10 times more effective. That's why I want Bruno Guimaraes or Paqueta or someone, but we'll see. That's not the point of this video. But you see what Foden has to play with and what he has to play with over here. And he's not even the 10. He's having to work his way across the wing to come into the 10 and then play a pass to Foden. Sorry, to Kane. And Kane's biggest problem is that Bellingham and Foden play in this certain position and Kane drops it into that as well. So who's the one actually up front if Kane is trying to eat up Foden and Bellingham's so-called position?
Exactly. Like
So I think we're really
I,
struggling with Harry Kane, Foden, and
I
Bellingham
I
at the
get
moment.
I get Harry Kane's issues of no, not issues. Harry Kane's effectiveness when he comes into the midfield, when you have no one who's creating those passes, or when you have those runners in Son or in Kulusevski. But
Coleman, Sane,
exactly. Yeah, now by I'm not watching much of Bayern, but
yeah.
I get it. Sane and all that stuff. But when you don't have runners, your only job is to make sure that you are there when somebody in the midfield is somehow creating a chance for
When
you
some
to score it. What is the whole point of dropping in
exactly
when there are no runners for you to be effective? What is the whole point in like taking up
be
a midfield's role when there is nobody up there to score the damn goal?
like literally people shit on Haaland for being he's just scored a tap in. Like mate, that's the point. If you're in a position where you have to score bangers every single time, then you're basically telling me that your team's not doing a good job at playing effective
Exactly.
football. Like if you're having to score bangers all the time, you're relying on luck half the time. And if you're scoring tap ins, that means your team did exactly
Needs
what
to be
they
done.
wanted to do on
True.
paper.
True.
And you made the exact run that you needed. That's why you got a tap in. Perfect. That's a striker's job, and that's how Kane should be playing. And it pisses me off. Like every England game, I'm bloody fuming. I'm just like, where is Foden's whipped a ball into the middle? No one's there. Foden whipped some balls in through the free kick last game. I don't remember which one it was. No one was there to hit it in. Saka played a ball into the middle. No one was to hit it in because no one wants to make that run. And we don't have the other winger like Gordon or someone who's going to come in and occupy that through the runs because Mr. Kane wants to play midfield all the time. So he might be England's legend, but there's no point in playing people in a completely offbeat formation and not defining their roles. I don't know what Southgate is doing. I feel like the players manage Southgate and Southgate doesn't actually do anything himself. And the whole country is frustrated. I haven't seen too much hype despite me being in England um, this year. And I
Southgate
guess it's
situation.
representative
No,
what
Southgate situation is like
I was
very.
just saying, ma'am.
You know what? Go ahead, finish your point.
No, no, you go on, go on. Southgate
Southgate
situation is.
situation, right? It kind of reminds me of what United did with Ole. Ole was a perfect guy to make sure that there is still a team that wants to fight for the badge. Hence, that period till the end
Mhm.
of the season when he initially came, and then that moral should have been taken care of by a proper manager. Southgate, I think, was in that situation because there's a lot of war, there's a lot of fights between the England players because of club rivalry and all of that, and that was being like done, like that was being cleansed out, and and players were like bonded, and then morale was high, and people were starting to like to come to the England squad. But then I think Southgate should have like said, okay, this is it after the Euros, or at least after the World Cup, so that there's enough time for a proper manager to take care of this higher proper team that has good morals with enough quality to come and perform for the badge. And guess what, I'm sure there have been multiple managers waiting to take up the Indian squad with the kind of quality that is there for them, and they don't have to like go and bring out some random players from different parts of their specific country to bring in players of that quality. It's genuinely funny, man. It's like how can like as normal people like us with like little to zero information about the inside parts of being a manager, how can we as common men or common people in general have more idea about how the team could effectively play and get the best out of the team than a manager who's at that position to make the decisions that was needed for the team to perform. Like I really do not know. Like, what is the whole point of dropping Brathwaite when you don't have a left-footed centre back or left-footed defensive player? You're expecting Luke Shaw to be fit after how long? Just because you had a group that was effectively not that good at attacking doesn't mean that you bring in a Luke Shaw who's half fit, who may not be even fit enough to play in this round of 16 for more than 45 minutes. Like, there's no guarantee of it. What's the whole point of dropping Brathwaite? Had you not dropped Brathwaite, you would have had still Mark Gay on that position, in that left back position, and then you would have Brathwaite and Stones, or Brathwaite and somebody else in the defense, and that would have been still fine when you're attacking on the left side, because right at this point, Trippier has been useless on that position. If you put Trent, it's almost even worse than putting Trippier there. Walker is only fine because Walker can have the recovery pace in case he misses out on some certain run
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, I watched just 45 minutes of England because of personal reasons I couldn't watch. But those 45 minutes were hell. It was just hell, dude. I really do not know how people spend 270 minutes of their lives to watch this shit team with that much quality, and yeah, it was just frustrating. 45 minutes made me go on such a rant. I can't imagine what the rest of the people do. It's just weird.
I'm telling you, I think there was a day where England was playing and Spain was playing in the evening. So I watched England play and I was frustrated, fuming. I'm like, I'll watch Spain. And my mood completely changed. I watched Spain play. I'm looking at the play and I'm like, this is what England tries to do, but they can't do it because they're stupid, because they're shit, and they're garbage. And they might end up going to the finals, I don't know. But playing like this, though, I mean, I know when the title comes through and there has England 2024 Euros winner on it, no one's gonna care about it. But it is kind of traumatic to watch it at the moment. It's just it's like catharsis. Like it's all the hype that went all the way up, and slowly it's just going into slowly. No, I'm saying slowly, steadily, it's going into a big decline. And I don't know where the season is bound, but I would say Watkins should be starting over Kane. And he's our captain, I get it, but he really should be starting over Kane. Like, we need someone to be making those runs in behind. And Bellingham, Saka, um, Foden, every one of them have played with strikers who try to stay on the shoulders of the defenders and push them back. And because if you make, and I guess the main point is what everyone's missing. You might not find the long ball to the striker, but if they're gonna make runs, the center backs are gonna move with them.
Creating.
And what does that mean? There's gonna be space in the middle. Right now, it feels so chaotic and easy to defend that even the people playing in the middle have nowhere to go and nowhere to pass the ball to. And that's because Mr. Kane wants to come in and try and be a midfielder. So play Kane in the eight. Who cares? Do it. If you want to come in the midfield, play eight, man. Do some defensive work. Come
Right,
on.
right.
Don't just come in and try and be the hero. So, if you're going to play as a striker moving forward, Kane, you need to start making runs. And he's capable of it. He may not be the fastest guy, but even if you're going to start making runs, at
He's
least the
smart.
defenders are going to be wary of
Exactly.
it, right? They're going to be wary. You need to keep their heads in the game. And then maybe Foden and Bellingham will have some space to work with. Right now, it's also dead. There's no passing options. There's nothing going on. The pundits have expressed their disconcerns about this. We are doing it right now because this is basically just a rant because I fucking hate what I'm watching. Sorry for the
No
language,
worries.
but and yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess we're just in this position where there are clear solutions, but Southgate refuses to do it every game, and I feel like we're in this bad spot right now where we're in a knockout stage. We've played 3 games, and it's almost as risky to change things as it is to keep it the same. And now we're in this very neutral ground where I have no clue what's gonna happen. So I think we're gonna end up playing pathetic football for the next few games as well, and it's just hope that we actually end up winning it. I have no hopes from this squad, because it's being managed by Gareth Southgate. But if we do end up winning it, I'll be the happiest man in the world. But Southgate, regardless of the result of this, should go. It's not. This is not it. Pep, if you're gonna get off from City, you know where to come next.
Yes,
So,
Barcelona.
um, no, England. I'm sure the lads would love to be managed by Pep.
Or Klopp, to be honest, even
So,
Klopp is a good. Or
or
Klopp,
Klopp,
yeah,
man.
exactly. Yeah,
Honestly, even Klopp, he doesn't even have a job right now. Might as well just come manage England.
exactly.
You know, I think we'll become a nice attacking, gegan pressing team, uh, that people have wanted us to be. Maybe for next World Cup,
There's
uh,
enough time for England to like
that'll be fun.
recover all their bullshit shenanigans with a good manager because
Yeah.
at this point it feels like the manager is there, right? The manager is there, but since he's been that that kind of guy, that kind of manager, like Michael Scott, I think
hmm
people are just running over whatever he's saying. Yes, he's still the manager by title, but I don't think the players genuinely give a shit about him. And maybe initially.
Klopp has that aura about him. Southgate doesn't have any aura.
Exactly. I'm sure even Mark Goldbridge might have more aura than him at this point. I know.
Oh yeah, bro, Mark, go on, man. Just manage England.
Remember seeing
You manage.
seen those edits, right? Post Sidemen matches or better squad. The
Yeah.
those videos had more aura
Uh,
than Southgate, man. Yeah.
honestly, this picture that I have in the background of the last time they lost it. Um, do you know what? I just, what's the word? There's jeopardy written all over this. It's deja vu. So I think this is gonna happen again, the way we're playing. And we played a lot better in the last World Cup, to be fair with you. And even, this build up to the last Euros, we did very well. This season, just something, this Euros, just something's really wrong, and I'm just waiting for it to happen, the inevitable. But if we end up losing to Slovakia, this is all gonna get exposed big time. Like if Slovakia is how we're gonna go out of the Euros, England team is gonna get battered over media for the next whole month. So
Wait,
I hope he fixes
Is
something.
Slovakia
I
the team where Benjamin Sheshko played? No, right?
think it's Slovenia.
Slovenia. Right. Group stages, exactly. Which brings
Slovakia is the team that beat Belgium
Belgium.
in their first game. And don't even get me started on Belgium, mate, because that's my second favorite team, and they kind of have a similar situation with this manager called Tedesco. And he keeps playing players in the wrong positions. Why Trossard playing on the right? He doesn't even play on the bloody right. Like if you want to play him, you play him on the left and play Doku on the right. There's a whole conundrum, and then there's Mr. Lakaka. He he tries to hold up the ball just like Kane does. He makes some runs, but it's almost like he wants everything on his feet to score a goal. He's built like I say, this is my saying for Lukaku. He's built like a tank, but he hits like a snail. Like he hits slow shots. There's no power. There's no clear connection with the shots, but he runs like a tank. And some of his movement is elite, but he can't finish. And that's where Belgium is struggling. And KDB, I know he had his whole thing with fans the other day, didn't he? Where he kind of did tell a fan to go home. I kind of agree with him, and that's not my bias. I mean, if they did end up not playing defensive football and trying to do all their shenanigans and they conceded a goal, will the fans come up and say the same thing? Will they come and say, why didn't you try and go for the win? Mate, there was like the last 5 minutes, they had to make sure they're at least in the Euros. Because if they did concede, they would be out of it. It was a very risky game to play. Now they're up against France. I really don't know what's gonna happen. But this conversation is about England, so I'll keep it at that. I don't know what's gonna happen to England either. Same story. But we are playing Slovakia. So despite however we play, we are expected to beat Slovakia. Belgium has a task on their hands. We should try and make sure this isn't a bloody task. This should be an easy game on paper.
Okay.
But it's not gonna be. Let's be honest. This, even if we do win, it's gonna be some stupid 1-0 win, barely scraping off. And maybe even one classic England win where we score one goal in the first 25 minutes and then we
Sit,
just shit the
we
bed
just
for
sit
the
back.
rest.
Yeah.
Literally. So I know this video feels like the tournament's over and we've already been knocked out, but isn't that what the feeling is around the country anyways? It feels lost, it feels like a lost cause. And I don't know what's gonna happen. There are quite some good teams remaining in the tournament, and it's gonna be an exciting tournament regardless. I think it's been really, it's not been exciting goals wise because there hasn't been too many goals, but it's really been exciting to see how some of these teams are making the big teams struggle. Um, Switzerland is a great example. I think they've been really good.
Yeah,
They made
I
Germany
so
struggle.
knew they would win against Italy. Like, yeah, Italy didn't have the.
Dark horses,
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
I think Switzerland are
No,
dark horses and they really have a
I
chance.
think people know about Switzerland being good teams, so that's fine. I think the real dark horses, when me and Vignesh made that video, we kind of agreed upon was the fact that Austria are the real dark horses, in my opinion.
I think they're both dark horses, to be
Fair,
honest. I
fair.
feel like they're both really organized teams that play effective football. I think they both have a hold-up striker who also is happy to make runs. In this case, Breel Embolo, happy to make runs, and he does that job really well. Um, so does Austria, and they have some good DMs, Konrad Leimer and whatnot. They have a great setup, and I guess that comes back to the point of saying, was Ralph Ragnick really the
Nope,
problem? I don't think
never.
he was, and I don't think Oli was the problem either. I think Oli was a good manager, but he was thrown under the bus. Ten Hag got to stay one more year. I don't think Ten Hag is the problem either. It's just the players are shit. I know we lost to them in the FA Cup, but I feel
I think the
like
board, the
if that game happened before if that game happened before the Premier League's last game, City would have beat United. I just don't see the point of having a game like that after the season's practically over and everyone's already having drunk fests and parties. The players just didn't look like it.
wait. Let's not go too much about the club. We'll stick to England.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get my point
I
though.
clearly get your
Yeah, yeah.
point. Before we end the video, I just want your small predictions. England versus Slovakia. England winning, or is it going to?
4-0 Slovakia. Nah, I think it might. I, I feel like I'm leaning towards 1-0 England,
You know what?
but
I'll make this better for you. Okay, England are going to win in the 90 minutes or in the 120 minutes.
I think England will win in the 90 minutes. Despite me leaning towards a 1-0, something tells me they are gonna concede a goal. So 2-1 is also very, very possible with a scrappy 70-minute goal and then just fighting for their lives to not concede a second. That seems like England to me right now. So actually, you know what? I'll say
2-1.
2-1 and it's gonna be a rough game. If he continues to play the same way, if he changes everything up, maybe we might actually see a different England. But I don't see it happening. I do hope it happens though, and I am very worried about tomorrow. And I'll be in my England kit supporting England. But it's a can I be asked? Nah, I might as well go do something else. Honestly, um, India won today, so I think I have a reason to celebrate, and it's been a great day. I'm on a high, but I don't want England to just kill that high on the low. So,
I'm
um,
predicting England to win, but not in the 90 minutes. I think it will be in the 120 minutes because uh, I think Slovenia, I'm Slovakia. I do not know about Slovakia, but I think they will be better than Serbia. I think they will still be able to test England like Denmark. So that's why I feel it will be like I think it'll be like a 1-0 win, but in the 120 minutes, but not in the 90 minutes.
I'm gonna switch off my TV if it goes anything longer than 90
I
minutes. That's like extending my sad state by another 30 minutes. What's the point? I might as well have some biryani and just enjoy myself and be happy. but I have to have the pleasure of watching
you
England,
know.
you know.
So,
So,
hey ho,
hey
that's what I
ho,
predict, and
that's what I
that was my
predict, and
rant.
that was my
Thank
rant.
you for watching.
Thank you for watching. That's about it. I could go on about it forever, but I think my throat's run dry, and I'm at a loss for words, and I'm gonna be holding my shirt up like this because we're gonna lose. So,
Guys, I hope you can like this video. For more such videos, do keep subscribing to the channel. For more uh, for
rants.
more rants and for more support and expecting Vardhan to keep coming on this channel, keep following him on Instagram as well. I hope you are following him on Instagram. So keep doing that. I will see you guys soon. Till the very end, until I forgot my voice. I'm yeah, yeah. It's been a brilliant day. We have won in the most.
It's coming home, lad.
S-
It's coming home.
what?
It's coming home. It's coming home.
Yep. The ICC T20 World Cup has come home for sure. We are
Oh
for
yeah, it
sure about
is.
that.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
an incredible, yeah.
Roko, Roko, Rohit and Kohli, Roko. That's it. That's my slogan from now on.
Yep.
That's it.
Who knows? It could be Foden and Saka bringing it home. Anyways, that's a whole other debate. But yeah, we will see you guys soon. Keep supporting us. Keep commenting. Keep liking all our videos because we are trying to bring in new videos, new content, and better content for all you guys out there. So yeah, we will see you guys soon. See you tomorrow. Actually, by the way, whatever. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you're in the world. Bye bye. Peace.
Right. Peace.